I've been a high school teacher for the last maybe over 20 years. Before that, for 17 years, I was a congregational rabbi. I want to give some tips on how to read efficiently and give you a little insight about myself. When I was younger, I never wanted to read. I was a ball player. I couldn't read well at all. And then after I was married, coming out of a movie, I asked my wife, how come when I come out of a movie, I have instant understanding of what went on, but when you read a book, it's just a chore and takes a tremendous amount of effort. My wife thought I was sort of cuckoo, but I did a lot of thinking about it, and I decided there's got to be a way to read a book like you watch a movie. So what I did is I took out a book from the library that I saw the movie, hoping that the book or the movie followed the book closely. So for example, I took out the book Jurassic Park. We just saw the movie. We had just seen the movie. And I started reading. And what I tried to do is I tried to figure out what the scene of the movie that was being described in the book. And as soon as I successfully figured out the scene in the movie was being talked about in the book, I was able to go down the page very quickly because once I figured out what was being described, everything was just a detail. And the truth is, when I was growing up, my father my father would tell me, "Don't read the words, read for the ideas." And the truth is, conceptually, as a child, I had no idea what it meant, read for the ideas. But after reading a book in which I saw the movie, I understood that reading for the ideas is really being anticipatory, trying to anticipate what is it that the author is trying to convey. So once I searched out exactly, what topic was the paragraph describing, I was able to read much, much faster and lo and behold, even more efficiently, as opposed to the way I learned how to read, which was word after word after word after word, stopping, figuring out what did I just read, and in such a way that was such a chore, I never wanted to read. It was too difficult. Now, on the other hand, I read in a much more aggressive way where I'm trying to figure out what is the intent of the author. What's he describing? And that can come pretty quickly. Either it's an action scene, either it's a conversational scene, or it's just a descriptive scene of the scenery. So the truth of the matter is, I didn't really learn how to read until I graduated college. I didn't learn how to read until I was already married. And now I tell my students, if you find reading to be challenging or a bore or difficult, chances are you're not reading correctly. In other words, there's also a book out there by Harry Sheftel called Faster Reading Self-Taught. Now, Faster Reading Self-Taught is a very, very interesting, but it's a basic book. He says that in order to increase your reading speed, all you need to do is figure out a topic sentence. And every good writer has a topic sentence or gives the reader a clue to what's coming next. So, for example, I always thought that Charles Dickens was a very difficult author until I actually read it in a more efficient way. It turns out the only thing that Charles Dickens is maybe wordy, but his paragraphs are incredibly organized. I mean, it was actually much more easy to read a Charles Dickens than some of the newspaper articles out there, because the readings in these newspaper articles is not such great writing. But somebody, although he was paid by the word, and that could mean, just a very, very long paragraph, it doesn't necessarily mean it was difficult. So my recommendation is, if you're having trouble reading, and by the way, reading opens up the whole world. If a person has trouble reading, he is going to be at a disadvantage. But somebody who knows how to read efficiently, the whole world, no matter what the subject is, you can always find it in a library. You can always find it in a book. So the truth of the matter is, I really recommend that people learn how to read efficiently. And if you're having trouble, do what I did. Watch a movie, take out a book that's the movie, and figure out where there is, where the author is what is he trying to describe. And if you can figure out the scene that you saw in the movie, then you can go very fast down the page. So I recommend, that you look for the topic sentence, and once you figure out the idea, just like my father said, read for the idea, you can go down the page very efficiently. Everybody should have a great day.